Hey everyone, this is the Showbiz Pop 5. I'm your host, Whitney Danhauer.
I'm Lauren Anderson, and this is quickly turning into a show about Stranger Things because, once again, we're talking about Stranger Things this week and the songs that would save us from season 4's big bad Vecna.
How could we not talk about it?
Important.
It's all anyone's talking about. So, spoiler alert, if you have not finished if you finished 1 through 4 of Stranger Things 4, you're okay. But if you haven't, maybe go watch it and then come back and watch us. But in episode 4 called Dear Billy, Max gets sucked into the mindscape by Vecna, and she almost, gets like he does in his very over the top ways, might I add. But Nancy and Robin figure out just in the nick of time that music reaches a part of the brain that nothing else does. So they encourage Dustin and Lucas to find her favorite song of all time and play it, put it in her headphones. Luckily, Max had been listening to nothing but Kate Bush and her album, The Hounds of Love, throughout the entire season so far. So they knew it was a song up there and it was running up that hill. And it culminates in one of the greatest scenes in the series so far. I get chills when I watch it. So she hears the music, it reaches her and she's able to escape Vecna's clutches and get away. And she's the only successful one so far, aside from, I guess, Victor Creel, which also weird. We don't know. We don't have the background on that just yet.
Yeah, we need more. Volume 2.
So Lauren and I were instead of a pop 5 talking about random things about Stranger Things, because pretty much that's all there is to talk about right now, we decided we would tell you all our songs that would save us from Vecna. So we have picked a total of 5 songs between the two of us, and we're going to go over why each song would save us from Vecna if we were to be taken into his mindscape. So Lauren, do you want to go first?
Yes, I tried to limit myself to songs either that came out in 1986 or before 1986 to be as authentic as possible. And the first one that I chose was Wild Wild West by Escape Club. This predates my birth, but I remember hearing it when I was little. My parents would put it on, and for some reason, it was just one of those songs that I would bop around in my high chair to.
Oh, yeah.
My dad always talks about my eyes getting really big and because there's a gunshot in the beginning. And so my eyes would get so big and I would just be like, yes, this is my jam. So I feel like if I were trying to escape Vecna and that song came on, I would be like, get back there, girl. You got to do
your
it.
Memories. You'd remember your dad in the high chair.
Yeah. Just the joy of my childhood. And what better song to slow motion run out of the upside down to?
It's perfect. So mine, actually, one of my songs that I decided on is from 1986, and it is Manic Monday by the Bangles. Because if you're young, you don't remember this. I'm old, I can tell you. They used to have these things called pocket rockers, which, yes, I understand it's a weird term for a toy for kids.
Not what you think.
No, it was a miniature Walkman, but you didn't hook headphones to it or anything, but it had these little tiny cassette tapes that
hit clips for children of the 90s.
Yes, except it was a little cassette, and you put it in, and had one song on each side. Well, I had the Bangles, and one side was Walk Like an Egyptian, and the other side was Manic Monday. And 6-year-old me totally felt all the pains of having to get up on a Monday and catch
the 9 to 5 grind.
Get to work, man. I mean, it was just speaking to my 6-year-old soul. So I can remember having that pocket rocker on my clip or on my hip as I walked around, thinking God, I got to get the bills paid, and just making up stuff that 6-year-olds don't have to worry about. But that was me. So yes, the Bangles, Manic Monday.
It's funny they had an entire song, and then in the 90s they had hit clips, which is literally a clip of a song. It's they backtracked in technology. That makes no sense. But I digress.
Whatever.
The other song that I feel would pull me out of Vecna's clutches or Vecna's curse would be London Calling by The Clash. And I picked this song for a couple reasons. One, it's a banger. And two, it kind of ties back to the whole Will Byers using Should I Stay or Should I Go by The Clash in season 1 to communicate with Joyce. Also, I was doing a little bit of digging on this song, and it references the BBC reports that were coming out during the darkest periods of World War II. Mm-hmm. And if you think about the people under Vecna's curse, it's because of the darkest experiences of their lives. So I feel like it's just the perfect fit to escape that.
Yes. I did not go that deep. So my next song,
you know me. I gotta take the deep dive.
My next song is by Whitney Houston. And growing up in the 80s with your name Whitney, there is one person on the planet you will forever be compared to. And telling you, as a child, I can't tell you how many times people asked me, do you sing like Whitney Houston? No, I do not. I mean, I sing, but not like Whitney Houston. So
what a broad assumption.
Right? It was always my teachers at school too, but you never found the name Whitney on any sort of like memorabilia. Like if you go on vacations to the beach, there was never a keychain with the name Whitney. It like
heartbreak.
Never found it anywhere. And so the singer comes out, her name is Whitney. I'm like, I want all of her music in my head for the rest of my life. So I listened to How Will I Know, that album, over and over and over. That's not the name of the album, but How Will I Know was on it. And I saw her in concert. That was the first concert I ever went to. And it was such a tiny, tiny venue. And she sang, gosh, I can't remember one of the songs that she sang. It was the one about the children, I think. And
I believe the children are a few.
Yes. Yeah. And all the little kids, like she let them come up to the stage. And I had one of those light up roses that you could like turn on. It had like, I mean, it wasn't LED.
Gosh.
Yeah. So I got to go up like to the front of the stage. It was such a small venue. And I lifted up my rose and she took it and smelled it and pretended like she was singing to me. And it was like the most magical moment of my 6 years.
What a treasure.
I know.
So yeah, that song would definitely bring you back.
I cannot tell you how many music videos I forced my mother to film of me reenacting this song. Like, get ready, get the camera out. Whitney's going to sing. So it was the occurrence.
I love it. And as the resident child of the 80s and the resident Stranger Things expert, it's only right that you choose our fifth and final song.
Yes. Actually, yeah. So my final one it's actually not from 1986, but
I'll allow it.
Okay. It is before 1986. So it does, and it is in the 80s. So it does fall into our parameters, but it's my favorite song of all time. And Lauren knows this because she's heard me sing it several times. It is Betty Davis Eyes by Kim Carnes. I cannot get enough of it. It is on every playlist I ever make, probably. Like I know every single word. And then a few years ago, this movie came out, The Final Girls, I think is the name of it. And it was starring, oh my gosh, I'm blanking on her name. She was in American Horror Story. Taissa Farmiga.
Oh, yes.
Is that your name? Taissa? She's in it. And there's like such like sweet scene between her and her mom with this song. And it brought me to tears, and it just cemented that song as like one of my favorites forever. So if I'm ever sucked in by Vecna, you know what to play.
Yeah, I've got a reference now.
Yeah, now we know. So,
and honestly, I could see any of these songs fitting easily onto the Stranger Things soundtrack.
Yeah.
So maybe volume 2. Wouldn't that be funny?
Right. Maybe.
Not necessarily in a Vecna setting, but if any of these songs show up on volume 2,
I'll be so excited.
Be delighted.
But we actually want to know what your guys' songs would be to save you from Vecna, because we know you have them. So you can leave them in the comment boxes down below, because we check those and we love getting comments from people. You can always at us at Cheat Sheet on Twitter. You can find us at Showbiz Cheat Sheet on Facebook. But we want to know. We want to know, what is your song that would save you from Vecna? It doesn't have to be in the 80s. It can just be a song that you love or that's special to you. We just want to know.
It can even be an entire playlist if you're up to it. So
yeah, I mean,
leave it in the comments. We will see it. And don't forget to like and subscribe so you never miss another episode of Showbiz Pop 5.
Yes. So I want to thank everybody for watching, and I hope you tune in next time. Thanks, guys. Bye.
Later, guys.